right, well, another week has passed. My goodness, we're back again, and no, I do not sleep here. Okay, that first, well, today there's real no theme, just doing a bunch of different tunes and trying some different things with them and see what works. So that first tune, it actually is pretty rare, and because it is so rare that it's not. Oh, that's the name of the tune. So rare, yeah. 1937 it was written, and it was a nice little tune. Then a fellow, the old Jimmy, I think it was the Jimmy Dorsey Orchestra, was led in the 1950s by a fellow named Warren Covington. And in 1957, they recorded So Rare and had a real big hit on it. Probably the biggest hit that the song ever had, even though a lot of people recorded it. Now, speaking of recording, the other day I recorded my next album. So I thought I'd just tease you a little bit today with a couple of tunes from that album. And if I get my settings right here, this first one, I'm not going to do them in order, but anyway, this first one was written in 1970. All the songs on this album are going to be at least 100 years old. And believe it or not, there were some pretty cool songs written way back then. A bunch of junk too, but anyway. So all these songs are going to be at least 100 years old. And this one was written in 1917 and became a jazz standard. And they have this little race out in Indianapolis on Memorial Day where they go around, race around in circles and bump into each other and that type of thing. The thing I can never understand about that race is they have a pace car to lead them the first lap. Guys, it's only oh, never mind. And this song is sang or played before the race every year. And it was, for many years, Jim Nabors. Remember Jim Nabors from the Andy Griffith Show? Golly, yeah. Well, they used to have him come out to Indianapolis and sing the song. Well, of course, Jim is no longer with us. But they still do the song, a little tune. And it's not the state song, believe it or not, of Indiana. You'd think it would be, because it's called Back Home Again in, Indiana. So here we go. again in Indiana. We've been to Indiana quite a few times, and it is just flat, and it's so it's sort of like a separation between Illinois and Ohio. So it's like a comma or something, because it's very narrow. It's like maybe 60 miles apart. I mean, you just get into it, and all of a sudden you're out of it. But nice little state. All right. Well, this next tune actually, this is something I very rarely, if ever, do. I'm going to do a medley. A medley that's two tunes at well, not at the same time, but And the reason I put these tunes together is because it has a nice bass pattern that works in both tunes. So, what the heck, may as well do it. First one's called Fever. I think it was written around 56, 57, but the big hit was Peggy Lee, 1958. Now, for those of you under the age of 60, or maybe even 70, you've probably never seen or heard of Peggy Lee. Peggy Lee was a blonde, and Peggy Lee didn't have to sing. She could just stand there, if you know what I mean. So she did Fever, and I'm going to couple that with Summertime, 1934. Came from a show called Porgy and Bess. And I'm going to use a little different sound. So, this could either be a disaster or something different. So let's see what happens with Fever and Summertime. Fever and Summertime. All right, well, this next tune ironically, it is from, I guess, I'm not sure if it was a movie or a documentary. It's called Black Orpheus. And I guess this particular tune was only played like near the end of the presentation. Now, I happen to like this tune. I think it's a great tune. But you rarely do you hear it. It's called Samba de Orfeo. So see if I can get into this, see what it sounds like. Where are we? Okay. Samba de Orfeo. No idea what that means, but nice tune. In fact, I first heard that tune, and an accordion player that I know was playing it, and I said, "Oh, I got to learn that." And so, and we have an accordion association here, and so I was at a meeting a couple of years ago, I guess, and he was there. I said, "Come on up here, let's play this together." He had forgotten the tune. He wasn't even sure what tune I was going to play, so I totally embarrassed him, which I'm real good at, by the way. I'm real good at embarrassing people. So, all right, we're going to go to 1957 for this tune. It actually was written, I think, the year before. And I think one or two people, lady vocalists, turned it down. Young lady named Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline. It's not the one you're thinking of. It's a different one. She had her first big hit on this, and of course, 4 or 5 years later, she left us in a plane crash. So, little tune called Walking After Midnight. So let's see what we can do with this. Push the right button here and we'll be all set. I think I did. All right, so little walking after midnight. Walking After Midnight, Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline. You know, I don't play a lot of country music. Mainly when I do, it's like the old standards like that, or You're Cheating Hard, or things like that. The really traditional country, you know, just the three chords and a cloud of dust type things. Stuff they're trotting out today, you know, in my humble opinion, is not really country, not the traditional stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Well, I think we're getting down close to the end of our time here. And this last tune is also going to be on the album. This tune, I would think that everybody probably has heard at one time or another. 1925, it was recorded. I think it was written long before that, but the first major recording was done in and I'm not sure who did it, but after that, everybody did it. Louis Armstrong did it, people like that. So, little tune, I'm sure you've all heard it. 5'2", eyes of blue, has anybody seen my gal? So let's see what we can do with this thing. 5'2" has anybody seen my gal? Now that ending is kind of like a jazz ending that came just a little bit later. And that last hairy chord is what we call a sharp 11 chord. And I don't even think they knew what sharps or 11s were back in 1925. But, you know, my show, my rules. Well, you know, we're just about, you know what I'm going to do? We got a couple minutes. I'm going to play one more real quick song. It's part of a medley that's on the album. A little tune, I think you might recognize this one. How about, I can't remember the name of the song. Well, you'll recognize it. When the Saints go marching in, well, we got to march out of here right about now. And as usual, thank you all for watching, listening, however it is that you get this little show that we do here. And, you know, I'm going to say, bring those young'uns in because they probably never heard When the Saints Go Marching In or 5'2" or things like that. And as usual, the big guy behind the glass, I don't think I threw any curves at him today. So he'll probably talk to me after the show. Austin Ricketts, who keeps us going here. As I say every week, if it sounds good, that's on Austin. If it sounds bad, well, something wrong with the instrument. So let's take it home with, I don't know, which one shall we do? Let's do the Saints. So here we go.